An interesting consequence of the fact that power comes with responsibility is that unequal distributions of power are also unequal distributions of responsibility. And so, like, in the context of social organizations, you'll often find that the people who have the most power are either tyrannical or they are a servant to everyone else and they're constantly exhausted and tired. You see this with parents in traditional family structures a lot. You see this in workplaces all the time, where the people who are in charge are often like both the people who have the most power in any social situation and also the most exhausted people there. My mom was telling me about this frustrating experience she had at work where whenever she was in charge of some kind of project or initiative or something like that, she would set up all these meetings so that people would come to the meetings. She would ask people individually about their preferences. She would do all of this work in order to make sure that the decision she made was one that worked well for everybody. But without fail, the decision that she eventually made would be something that a lot of people would dislike and complain to her for. And these were people who didn't come to the meetings. Those were people who didn't give their feedback, who didn't take part in the decision-making process. And so my mom ended up feeling that there's some number of people in any given social situation who don't want to be in charge of their own circumstances, who just want somebody else to be in charge so that they can complain without ever actually having to do the hard work of making decisions. And I've seen situations where this leads to this kind of toxic, like cyclical justification for the hierarchy itself, where people who are in charge will be so frustrated with the fact that the people underneath them aren't taking the responsibilities away from them that they grow resentful for those people underneath them and they become more tyrannical while still jealously guarding the powers and the capabilities that give them these responsibilities in the first place. My recommendation to people who find themselves in this situation is to break your responsibilities down into small parts and then give them to other people. Nobody's going to take them from you if you're the most powerful person in the room and they think that you want them. And democratizing responsibilities and powers has a really powerful effect on the value that everybody can bring to the team.